What if your investments paid you in cash every 90 days just for owning them? I'm not talking about selling your stocks to get cash. I'm talking about a direct deposit into your brokerage account, like a tiny automatic paycheck that you can spend or reinvest. This isn't a fantasy. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. It's called dividends. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what they are, how they work, and the simple math on what it really takes to one day live off them. This is the why. This is the reason we save and invest. So, what is a dividend? To understand a dividend, you first have to remember what a stock is. When you buy a share of a company like Apple or Coca-Cola, you're not just buying a ticker symbol. You are buying a tiny fractional piece of the actual business. You are a part owner. Now, let's use an analogy. Imagine you buy a tiny piece of a massive, profitable apple orchard. You are now a part owner of the orchard. At the end of the year, the orchard sells all its apples and has a huge pile of cash. These are its profits. The company running the orchard takes some of that cash to grow the business. They plant new trees, buy a new truck, or build a new barn. This is growth. But after all that, there's still a big pile of cash left over. The company's board of directors says, "We're doing great. Let's give a share of these extra profits back to our owners." That cash payment they send you, as an owner, is the dividend. It is the fruit from your apple tree. You get paid, you get cash in your pocket, without ever having to sell the tree itself. Your asset, the tree, or the stock, remains in your portfolio, ready to grow and pay you again next quarter. This is the foundation of passive income. When you hear about a company paying a dividend, this is all it is. Companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble have paid dividends to their owners every single quarter for over 50 years. They are stable, profitable orchards that just keep producing fruit. So, how do you measure this? You'll hear a term called dividend yield. This sounds complex, but it's just a way to measure the fruitfulness of your tree. If a stock is $100 per share and it pays you $3 in dividends per year, it has a 3% dividend yield. It's a simple way to know. For every $100 I have invested, this tree pays me $3 in apples, cash, per year. A good stable dividend yield is typically in the 2% to 5% range. A low yield, like 0.5%, means the company is reinvesting most of its profits back into growth. A very high yield, like 10% or 15%, is often a major red flag, which we'll talk about in a minute. This brings us to the most magical part of dividend investing. What do you do with the fruit you get? You could take that $3 and spend it. But what if you took the apples your tree gave you and used them to plant more tiny trees? This is called a DRIP, which stands for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. Almost every brokerage lets you turn this on with a single click. When a company pays you a dividend, instead of sending you the cash, the DRIP automatically uses that money to buy more shares, or fractional shares of that same company. Those new shares then start paying you more dividends. This is compound interest on steroids. It's the exact same magic we talked about in our Magic of Compounding video. This is Sarah versus Leo all over again, but on autopilot. Your money is making babies, and those babies are immediately making more babies. You're not just letting your money grow, you are actively using the profits from your money to buy more money-making assets. It's like your apple orchard is automatically, and on its own, planting new saplings for you every 90 days. This is how you build an absolute avalanche of wealth over time. So, how do you find these magical apple trees? You could spend your life researching individual stocks, or you can do what we've learned: buy an ETF. There are dividend ETFs that do all the work for you. Funds with ticker symbols like SCHD, Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, or VYM, Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, are like buying a basket of hundreds of the best, most profitable apple orchards all at once. You get instant diversification, and you get a steady, reliable stream of dividends from all of them. This is also the safest way to invest for dividends because it helps you avoid the #1 mistake new dividend investors make: The yield trap. A yield trap is a company that looks amazing because its dividend yield is incredibly high, like 15% or 20%. You think, wow, 15%? That's amazing. But here's the trap. The yield is high because the stock price has collapsed. The company is often in deep trouble and it's about to cut its dividend entirely. People buy the stock chasing that high yield, and then they get wiped out when the company cuts the dividend and the stock price falls even further. An ETF like SCHD or VYM protects you from this. Its managers are smart. They are screening for quality, stable companies, not just high yields. If a company in the fund becomes a yield trap, the fund will often sell it for you. It's the safest, simplest, and most effective way to get paid to invest. Okay, so that's what dividends are, what DRIP is, and how to buy them safely. But now, let's answer the big question, the one that gets everyone excited. How much money do you actually need to live off your dividends? The math is surprisingly simple. In finance, there's a famous guideline called the 4% rule. Decades of research have shown that this is the magic number for retirement. It states that you can safely withdraw 4% of your total invested portfolio every single year and never run out of money. Now, why does this work? Is the portfolio only earning 4%? No. The 4% rule is safe because your portfolio, invested in good S&P 500 or Dividend ETFs, is still growing on average by 7 to 10% per year. You are just harvesting 4% of it. The other 3 to 6% of growth stays in the portfolio, allowing it to keep getting bigger, fight inflation, and continue paying you more and more each year. You are harvesting the apples while the tree itself continues to grow. So, let's do the simple reverse math. Let's say your dream number is to live off $40,000 per year. You don't want to work. You want your orchard to pay you $40,000 in apples every year. Here's the formula. You take your desired annual income and divide it by 4%, or 0.04. $40,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1 million. That's it. That's the number. $1 million. This is the finish line for most people. Once you have a $1 million portfolio invested in good, dividend-paying stocks and ETFs, your orchard is now large enough to pay you $40,000 in cash every single year, forever, without you ever having to sell the trees. Want to live off $50,000 a year? $50,000 divided by 0.04 is $1.25 million. Want to live off $100,000 a year? $100,000 divided by 0.04 is $2.5 million. This is the goal. This is why we do all this. This is why we pay off our debt. This is why we build our emergency fund. We're not just saving money for the sake of it. We are building an orchard. We are slowly, patiently, and consistently buying small pieces of money-making assets, so that one day, we can stop working and let the fruit from our trees pay for our freedom. That is the power of dividends. If this video helped you understand dividends, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And be sure to subscribe, because our entire journey here is about building that orchard step by step. Now, for my question, what is your live off of number? How much passive income would you need per year to feel free? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.